Injuries, comebacks, and a rookie quarterback ready to roll. This is week 4. Start, sit, different day starts now. Let's get it. So you're not supposed to start a show on mute. I just did. Injuries, comebacks, and a rookie ready to roll this week. It is week 4. Start, sit, different day. Josh Hudson, myself, Gator J. We are here. Remember, this show runs on your questions. Drop those start, sit dilemmas in the chat. If it's not for you, start, sit, different day doesn't happen. Bye week start next week, Josh. Also, starting this week, we have 4 straight weeks of 9 a.m. games, 9:30, whatever, 9 a.m. But there's big news out of the NFL. Jayden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, out again.
Yeah, not great if you're a Commanders fan, for starters. But I definitely think you should have a level of hope in the sense of Marcus Mariota didn't look bad last week. That Commanders rushing offense looked really good. And again, when you have a quarterback that's mobile, a la Jayden Daniels, Marcus Mariota, you can do a lot of really good things. Mariota's never been the best passer in the NFL. They held him to only 21 pass attempts, but they said, we are going to run the football. And they ran the ball 201 times for 3 touchdowns. And they got every single running back involved. So can that continue this week? Right? You're down Terry McLaurin, who, played a role last week. He had 3 catches, 74 yards. They took some deep shots, one with McLaurin, one with Luke McCaffrey, but they weren't throwing the ball consistently. Deebo is now going to move into that wide receiver 1 role here this week. Can he be a difference maker for this passing offense? Or are they just going to use him like they normally do? Few targets, few rush attempts. He did average 6 yards per carry last week, and that, how contributing to that 201 yards. But Atlanta looked like shit last week on defense. They were bad. This defense is pretty stingy to wide receivers, though. They allow the 5th fewest, and that includes last week. So, they're still not giving up a ton when it comes to wide receiver fantasy production. Even to the running back position, they are pretty stingy. They held the Minnesota duo to 53 rushing yards combined between Jones and Mason. So this is a stingy defense. And I think after getting blown out last week, they could look to return to form, so to speak. And this might be a matchup where maybe Mariota is not the streaming option that we want him to be.
I 100% agree with everything you said there, because I think Atlanta is looking for a bounce back on the defensive side of the ball more than anything after throwing up that absolute dud last week against Carolina. And I think people are going to look at that Carolina game and go, okay, Mariota is going to go off this week. Temper your expectations, because we'll talk about the injuries here in a minute, but also Bill Krosky-Merritt is hampered right now.
He's banged up too, yeah.
So Deebo and Zach Ertz may be the only options on that offense right now.
Yep.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to us over here on YouTube. If you're over on Apple, Spotify, any other podcast platform, hit that follow button, like and subscribe there. If you want to get your question to the front of the line, you know how to do that. That is with that super chat. We are Horse for Money. We will absolutely jump you to the front of the line and make a mockery of ourselves if you do it right. Before we go any further, Josh, we've got to get a couple bills paid. Let the people know about Trophy Smack and how to smack themselves right in the mouth with all this great gear they got.
Absolutely. Fantasy football season is here, and Trophy Smack is where you want to get all of your rewards. They have trophies, rings, and championship belts, all of it designed to tell your league mates who the champion is. But don't forget, show a little love to your commissioner for the thankless job that they have. You can hit the link in the description of this podcast and check out some of the swag that you can get for both yourself and your commish. just remind your commish who the second most important person is in the league behind you. It is all available at trophysmack.com/club fantasy.
Absolutely. Don't forget to join us over in the Discord. Just dropping the link in the chat for you to do that is also in the description of the video as well. Heading into week 4, let's talk about some of these injuries. We do have a few players that are on returning this week. Brock Purdy versus Jacksonville, Xavier Worthy versus Baltimore. Chris Godwin is supposed to return against Philly. Don't care. Don't know how that's going to match up. Questionables this week. Jalen Warren is questionable with a knee. Jonnu Smith questionable with a hip. As I just brought up, Bill Krosky-Merritt is questionable with a knee. Chuba Hubbard, calf injury. Tet McMillan, calf. Baker Mayfield with his bicep. Chris Godwin, like I said, is ankle, but he should be back. Devontae Adams, hamstring. Mac Jones, knee. Jawan Jennings, ankle and shoulder. Ricky Pearsall, knee. Isaiah Likely with a foot injury. Colston Loveland with a hip injury. DeAndre Swift with a hip injury. And Noah Fant, no designation on him. That is just the questionable, Josh. Now let's talk about the outs. J.J. McCarthy, John Bates, Noah Brown, Mike Evans, Jayden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Xavier Legette, Jatavion Sanders, Tyrone Tracy, Alec Pierce, Michael Mayer, and, of course, CeeDee Lamb.
What a freaking list.
Laundry.
And it's week 4. What are we doing?
4. But speaking of week 4, I brought it up in the open. We have a rookie starting this week for the New York Football Giants. He gets a chance to start for week 4 here, going up against the Chargers. And I want to bring this up while the chat starts popping off here, getting all the questions in. So get those in. We will get to those as soon as we get done talking about Jaxson Dart here. But he gets his first start against the Chargers this week at home. I want to know what your expectations are with him going up against this tough Chargers defense, and is he startable even in a 2-quarterback or a super flex league?
I mean, if it's a 12-team 2-quarterback, I would be fine trotting him out as a second quarterback. He does offer some fantasy upside with his legs. The Chargers pass rush does take a bit of a hit down Khalil Mack, but it's a rookie first start against a really good defense. I am very much tempering expectations. My thoughts with Jaxson Dart: sit this week, start next week in week 5 when the Giants play the Saints. That is a much better matchup, in my opinion, for the rookie. So I'm not loving it this week. I know it's a cross-country trip for the Chargers. This very easily could blow up in their face. There's a lot of excitement within that Giants locker room. There's this youth movement kind of going on, and they brought in some very infectious personalities. So I definitely think that they will, they'll come out looking good, but at the end of the day, talent wins out, and the Chargers are just more talented.
Yeah, I actually have a league I have to start him in. Well, I don't have to. I have Bryce Young that I'm starting Jaxson Dart over. Of course, it is a super flex, but that is where I'm at right there. Since 2021, 10 of 16 first-round quarterbacks have started week 1, including Cam Ward this year. 4 others have made their first start by week 6. Those 4 are Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Kenny Pickett, Drake May. All went 0 for 4. Those 4.
Well,
only one of them had
5 this week.
Only one of them had a touchdown pass. Do we know which one of those 4 had the touchdown pass?
I think it was Fields.
It was Drake May.
Oh, okay.
Fields had 4 interceptions in his first start. I don't know how many of those went for a pick 6, if maybe that's what you were thinking there.
Fair.
Let's get over to the least favorite matchup play of the week for you, Josh. Who's your first guy?
Yeah, the least favorite. I wanted to switch it up a little bit this week. We always talk about the positive matchups and stuff. For me, it's George Pickens. Look, I've been on this hype train for quite a few years. George Pickens is a faux wide receiver 1. He can't separate, and he's not a volume target. And Dallas needs that kind of playmaker in their offense. Green Bay is trotting out Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary. They're going to be all over Dak. Dak is not going to have the kind of time that he needs to look for those downfield shots for Pickens. So if he can't separate, he's not going to see as many targets as a lot of us probably want to think. Packers are allowing the 4th fewest fantasy points per game to wide receivers through the first 3 weeks. And after not being able to beat the Browns, when they did play really good defense, I think they're going to come out with an edge on Sunday, especially in this Micah Parsons revenge game.
Yeah, that touchdown he had last week, I believe, was in garbage time too, wasn't it? And it was with Milton. It wasn't even with Dak. So, yeah. And that was against probably one of the worst passing defenses in the league in Chicago, or second worst because Dallas is the absolute worst.
Yeah.
Who's your next guy?
It's DK Metcalf. Look, I want to believe he's going to shine. You know, everybody talks about how bad this pass defense in Minnesota was last year, how many fantasy points per game they gave up. That has been the complete opposite this year. They are allowing the fewest fantasy points per game to wide receivers through the first 3 weeks. Rodgers is struggling to push the ball downfield. He's averaging only 6.8 yards per attempt. DK Metcalf has seen his targets decrease each of the first 3 weeks, 7 in week 1, 6, and then 5 last week. He's caught a touchdown in back-to-back weeks, but they're not peppering him. He has only 10 catches through 3 weeks. I think this matchup is not great, even on paper, but you know, it's in Ireland this week in Dublin. So, of course, all bets are off. Everything always happens wonky out in overseas, but I don't love this matchup for DK at all.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers have already started bitching because they're staying at some castle with 2 golf courses and they can't go play golf because they just got there yesterday. It's crazy that it's Aaron Rodgers is what 0-2, I believe, in Europe anyway. So let's put that out there. Favorite matchup of the week for you, Josh?
My favorite matchup, I don't usually go tight ends, but I am this week. Jake Ferguson against the Packers. Again, we talked about Pickens not being a volume guy. Jake Ferguson has 26 targets over the last 2 weeks. Heading into week 4, he is tied for 3rd in the NFL in targets. They are going to utilize Ferguson quite a bit with CeeDee Lamb out. They're going to look, he set a career high last week in both targets with 14 and receptions at 13. This Packers defense, while they are good, they struggle against the tight end. They allowed 79 receiving yards to Sam Laporta. They gave up 64 and a touchdown to Zach Ertz, and they gave up 65 combined yards to David Njoku and Harold Fannin. If you're in a position to where you have like a Bowers, McBride, even a Tucker Kraft, but you also have Jake Ferguson, this is one of those rare instances where I would absolutely be interested in playing Ferguson as my flex because of the hyper target volume that they're looking at him in that position.
100%. All right, Josh, let's get into these questions. They are mounting up in the chat. Let's start off with the Smitty here. Start 2 wide receivers, Nico, DK, Jennings, Turpin. His league gives out points for all return yards, 1 point per 10 yards returned.
Okay, definitely Nico. That's where you're going. Again, not loving DK this week. Jennings, if Jennings plays, that's my guy. Otherwise, I'm going to pivot to Turpin. I don't love banking on the the return yard side of things. But I will say with the way that the league is emphasizing more kick returns, I think Turpin might actually be your play over Jennings, even if Jennings does play.
Yeah, I'm with you on Nico, and I think I'm leaning Turpin here because somebody's got to be able to catch the ball out of that backfield. And with the Packers are going to focus on Pickens. I'm going. I'm going Turpin and Nico, especially with the injury to Jennings right now. Kicker question for you. By the way, Younghoe Koo is now a Giant. Just if anybody didn't know that. Schrader, Ricard, Carlson, McManus, Little, Elliott, Pinheiro. Which kicker would you stream?
So I'm going to preface this by saying I don't play in a lot of leagues with kickers. So I'm going to resort to the Club Fantasy consensus weekly rankings, which of course you can find on our website, clubfantasyffl.com. Ryan and Austin do our consensus rankings. The highest consensus that they have this week would be Spencer Schrader. He is kicker 7. Cam Little is 9. Who are the other ones, Jay? Read them off for me.
Ricard, Carlson, McManus, Elliott, Pinheiro.
Reichard is 21 in our consensus. Pinheiro is 20.
Where's Elliott?
And Jake Elliott's 11.
Okay.
So Schrader's your guy this week.
Schrader's the guy. All right, moving over to Jeff Rogers here. Flex Jordan Mason or Scattaboo full PPR. My starters are CMC and James Cook. Fucking champagne
I have
problems.
no reason. I have no reason to sit Jordan Mason right now. And quite frankly, that Steelers defense is very overrated.
No reason at all. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these with Mason or Scattaboo. I think Scattaboo is going to be very relevant this week. If this is the choice here, like I said, champagne problems for you, but Jordan Mason should be your call right away. Kelsey or Hunter Henry, and then Tyreek or Pearsall for Jeff.
It's Hunter Henry. I have zero reason to sit Hunter Henry right now. I know he had a bit of a stinker in week 2, but he is the best option really on that Patriots offense. And Tyreek Pearsall, we had this question on Wednesday, and this was basically my answer. I know Pearsall's questionable. If I was placing a wager on whether he would start or sit, I think he's going to start. Pearsall is the floor option for me. Tyreek is the ceiling option. And that's ultimately how I would look at this. Obviously, Tyreek plays Monday. So really, this decision could be made for you. Like if Pearsall gets ruled out, then obviously you're starting Tyreek Hill. But if you feel like based on your matchup that you need that little extra boost, I think Tyreek really is that guy. I know Pearsall had a really good week last week. I think it was like 8 for 117 or something. So, even in PPR formats, you've got a bit of a, ceiling play there with Pearsall as well. But that takes a hit if Jennings also plays, and Jennings was out last week. So I think just the way the offenses are constructed, Tyreek is more the ceiling play and Pearsall is the floor play.
Yep, right there with you, Hunter and Tyreek for me. Good morning, Caesar. Good morning. Good morning. Dak or pick up Geno, Mariota, Stafford, Tua, or Penix?
Geno is Ryan's stream of the week. So take that for what you will. I am very down on Dak this week. Mariota, I think, is a bit of a trap. Stafford should be fine, but I don't know. There just doesn't seem to be upside with him. Tua and Penix, I'm very much staying away with. So honestly, process of elimination, I'm going to agree with Ryan and stream Geno this week.
Yep, agree there. Good morning, Joe. Good morning. Good morning. Where are you level for Baker Mayfield?
Well, I mean, the biceps injury, definitely a little worrisome. But here's the thing. Baker loves playing against Philly. And Philly struggles playing against Tampa, and especially in Tampa, right? I'm not worried in the sense of, he's going to be hurried. He's not going to have time, blah, blah, blah. Eagles pass rush sucks right now. And we just lost Nolan Smith. They just put him on IR. So I'm not that worried. I mean, I've said all week that I think Ibuka doesn't have that like top 10 ceiling this week because I fully expect him to see quite a bit of Quinyon Mitchell. Mitchell was on Devontae Adams 60% of the time last week, only caught 2 catches for 12 yards. So the 1 touchdown came against a safety when they were playing zone coverage. So I think that's ultimately going to limit Ibuka's ceiling. Chris Godwin being eased back into the fold. I think this is going to be a huge Sterling Shepard game, and I've said that all week. Baker and Shepard obviously have a great connection going all the way back to their Oklahoma days. So I think he's going to be fine. I think you can probably pencil him in for 250 and 2 touchdowns.
I like it. Jonathan, this is what's up, guys. Start 2 between Pickens, Sutton, Tyreek, PPR, also flex 1, Ali, Aminator, or JMO.
Hey. All right, start 2. Sutton, Tyreek for me. Flex 1, A.O. Manor, I think, is probably the safest bet. Although I will say the sneaky girls on Thursday, they absolutely love some Jameson Williams. And again, I don't hate that. I think for a ceiling play, he's definitely there. But I like A.O. Manor. He's doing the damn thing. He's seeing a lot of targets there.
Yeah, I think if this is a PPR, so yeah, it's yeah. I'm with you on all of that right there. Yep. Back to this again. Rattler or Browning? Jayden Daniels, bro, got put on the muscle.
I mean, I feel like default says Browning. Rattler hasn't looked bad. I just, I mean, it's the Bills. They're a 15.5-point favorite. I do think that there's some sneaky upset level witchcraft voodoo shit going. Just because, it just feels like such a trap game for the Bills. But I think it's got to be Browning.
Jesus, you're starting to sound like Hoove over there in the Discord.
No, I think anytime you see a 15.5 point spread in an NFL game, you start thinking about that.
100%, absolutely, and that was his big question.
This is college football.
What do you think about this spread? And I'm like, I'm not touching it. Anything that big, I don't touch. Real quick though, Browning has got Denver in Denver. Does that change your mind at all?
No, not really.
George, he says Dobbins or Chase Brown.
Dobbins for me.
Yeah, Dobbins right now. You cannot get off of him. Justin Fields or Geno Smith.
Go to the super chat, dude.
Well, I was headed there as soon as I got done with this one. Where did you go?
That's why I brought it
up.
Wandell
for JCM. Did I win? Should I trade Kareem Hunt for RJ Harvey? Also have Pacheco. Who would you start? JCM, Hunt, or Pacheco?
So traded Wandell for JCM. I wouldn't say it's a win or a loss, Tay. I think it really just boils down to needs. I think you can find wide receivers on waivers that can help you. It's always difficult to find, running backs that even get a decent amount of volume. I'm not the biggest JCM fan, but, again, I don't hate this trade by any means, especially if you needed a running back, which everybody always needs running backs. Should you trade Kareem Hunt for RJ Harvey? Again, I think it boils down to personal preference. Right this second, I would prefer Hunt because I think he's just more involved in the offense than Harvey right now. But if you're asking me where I think those guys are in week 12, I'm going to favor Harvey over Kareem Hunt. Pacheco, we talked about it on Tuesday. I am done with Pacheco. I am more than happy to drop him, truthfully, in a redraft league. So I would not be looking to start him at all today. This week, I would probably roll out JCM if he goes. I know he's been questionable much of this week. I don't know what's going on with the Chiefs running game, but you can do whatever you want against Baltimore. That defense is so incredibly overrated. So Hunt becomes an intriguing play just from red zone usage, but I think I'm going to roll JCM out of that trio.
Very nice. I agree. Justin Fields or Geno Smith?
I'm going to go Geno. Honestly, I don't even think Justin Fields plays. They haven't announced one way or the other, but the way that they were talking earlier in the week is that they wanted to be cautious, and he didn't seem like he was responding as well as they had hoped with the concussion symptoms. He still has not technically cleared protocol, last I heard. I know he did practice, but this choice may get made for you, Gerald.
The other side.
Joseph chimes in that they did announce he's playing.
Yeah, but the other
I
side
still would be a little worried, but
Justin doesn't play till Monday night, so
that's the other side of it. I would much rather I'd much rather just roll with Geno. I think that's going to be a shootout anyway.
Yeah, we're all hinging on that or the one game week 1 where he had 1 passing and 2 rushing touchdowns. He hasn't done nothing else in either one of the games. Drake May or Penix?
Oh, it's Drake May, and it's not close.
Start 2 for Joseph here in a flex. Higgins, Chase Brown, Stephon Diggs, Chris Godwin.
Begrudgingly, I'm going to say Higgins and Chase Brown. I do not trust Godwin his first week back. That was a pretty serious injury. And Diggs right now, you could make an argument that he doesn't even belong on a roster.
They got to figure out what's going on with him, don't they?
Well, and honestly, part of me thinks that it's just easing him back from the knee injury, but I really don't know for sure. Like, I truthfully don't. Like, the snap share, I was not expecting to be so low because nobody in New England is really lighting it up, truthfully.
No, it's almost like they forgot that Pop Douglas was on their team.
He's done nothing, and slot receivers typically do really well in New England. So I don't know what's going on there.
Kyle Williams is a ghost.
They talked about him all off season, and he's done nothing. So
yeah, and then of course Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs. So moving on from that there. Your thoughts on TreVeyon Henderson for Gerald this week?
I really, really, really want to believe in TreVeyon Henderson. He's that toxic ex that you just keep going back to because you just know everything is so great when it's on But when it's off, it's just the biggest fucking headache, and you're wondering why you put yourself through this. That is TreVeyon Henderson for me right now. I know how talented he is. Mike Vrabel in a press conference this week talked about, well, we don't bench our quarterback after 2 interceptions, so why would we bench our starting running back after 2 fumbles? They're going to ride out Ramondre Stevenson. They still believe in him. That's not going to lead to any sort of bigger role for Henderson. So you're just hoping and praying that he turns one play into a touchdown. And that's not viable to me. It truthfully isn't. Until we start seeing more consistent production, I think he's just a pine rider at this point. Like, I don't really think that you can start him with any level of confidence, Gerald.
Yeah, I mean, he's sitting there at about a 40% snap share, and like you said, you're begging for the end zone for him to get there, and they're not going to give up on Ramondre. They still going to sprinkle in little Antonio Gibson every now and again. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to progressively get any better unless for some ungodly reason he starts ripping off 90-yard runs.
I said this earlier in the week. TreVeyon is expensive JCM.
Yeah. Very fair.
He's the high draft capital guy that's stuck in a 3-headed committee. But we spent a high draft pick on TreVeyon Henderson. That's why we're looking at him so differently versus JCM.
Joe's got 2 for us. Baker or May. And then on another team, Baker, Herbert, or Caleb. Start 1.
I'm fine going May this week. Despite the lack of production in the weapons, Drake May's QB7 on the season. He's doing it a lot with his legs. And I'm perfectly fine. Like I said, I think Baker's ceiling, quote unquote, this week is probably like 250 and 2 touchdowns. Which again, I mean, that's a 20-point week if you're in 6 points per passing touchdown. Otherwise, it's about 16, give or take. But I think May just offers a little bit of juice with his legs, and that's why I'm okay going the May route. In terms of the other question, I think this is a cake matchup for Herbert, but I think it's an even better matchup for Amari and Hampton. I think the Bears are just going to come out flat out slinging it. I love Caleb Williams this week.
100% agree. Charlene, good morning. Charlene and I are playing against each other this week in a couple of leagues.
Hey, shout out to Charlene for finally letting me win one of our Thursday DFS tournaments.
That's awesome. I did see that. She's been coming in first, the first 3 weeks or whatever, and then you've been coming in second in the first 3 weeks. Is that right?
Yeah, I've been, I think, top 3 in just about all of them. Yeah, and I know I was second last week. So
is this the Henderson week? We just talked over Henderson. Were you comfortable starting him over Javonte, or is it still Javonte?
No, I mean, look, this is not an easy matchup for Javonte, but he's going to see the volume. And I think at that point, you've got to favor the volume over the potential of just one play, because to me, there's a better chance that TreVeyon only sees 5 touches versus breaking off a long touchdown. So I got to side with the volume in Javonte.
Trade question from Lonely Stoner. 12-team PPR trade Flowers, Henderson, and Hunter Henry for Breece and Tyler Warren. Which side do you want on that?
I'm going to stick with this, the Flowers and Henry side. I love me some Tyler Warren. I think he's become a really good piece in that Colts offense, and that Colts offense is looking really good. I love me some running backs, and I love Breece. Right now, I just think Flowers is the best player in the trade. And I think that's ultimately where you got to go to keep this, especially when you're giving up 3 pieces to 2. Now, if you feel like you need a true running back upgrade, and Flowers, in your opinion, is expendable because you've got 3 pretty solid options at wide receiver, then sure, go get the running back, because running backs are harder to replace off the waiver wire than wide receivers are. But for me, I'm okay keeping the Flower side of this deal.
You talked me into it. Yeah, you talked me into that one. As much as I like Flowers, I do like Tyler Warren a little bit better. But I do believe that last week, I'm looking at last week and go Flowers didn't get the.
Until Warren does what Hunter Henry did this past week,
very fair.
I don't think he has the same level of upside that Hunter Henry does.
Very fair. Joseph says, which defense do I start? Why do you have 5 defenses on your team?
I think this is strictly a streaming option. Don't hate the guy.
The Rams, Falcons, Green Bay, the Jets, or Philly.
It is 1,000% the Packers.
1,000. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Appreciate you, sir. Traded Benson for and Terry for Mike Evans.
I love that for you. I know Evans is going to miss some time, but quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Terry misses a lot of time too. I mean, if you need the running back help, then maybe should have kept the Benson side of things. But truthfully, I think Evans is probably going to have the better season of all of them. The thing is, though, you're trading one hurt wide receiver for another, so it really just kind of feels like a wash.
Yes, 100%. Pick one: Tyreek Hill, Pittman, QJ, London, or Tet. He has Kamara, Meyer in the flex.
I would not be starting Kamara. I can tell you that. Truthfully, right now, I would be starting QJ, Pittman, and Hill all over Kamara and Myers. That's what I would do. So you can start all three of them and bench Kamara and Myers, Marcus.
There you go. Moving on. Tet about to get gonzoed. Is that what he says?
Yep. Christian Gonzalez comes back this week for the Patriots. He's one of the better shutdown corners in the league. This might be McMillan's welcome to the NFL moment.
I said I've asked before, but start two non-PPR: Kyron, Hampton, or Mason.
I am definitely starting Hampton this week. I think this is going to be his welcome to the NFL moment in a good way. Kieran, I'm fine rolling out. I think, more than anything, he probably has the highest touchdown upside. Colts have played well, but that's very much a bend don't break defense, and Kieran's the center of that Rams rushing attack. So it definitely pains me to sit Mason, but it's Kieran and Hampton for me.
100%. I'm starting Kyron Williams. The big thing with the Colts is they don't give up a ton, but they give it up to the running back. Quincy says I need two to flex.
And two wide receivers.
Need two flex, two wide receiver. Okay. Two flex, two wide receiver. Garrett Wilson, Cortland Sutton, Ricky Pearsall, Ibuka, Henderson, or Chase Brown.
Hey, you said it right. As I've said, I don't think Ibuka has the most upside, but I'm not willing to flat out bench him. It's Wilson. Ibuka for me is just two starting wide receivers. Your two flex. Honestly, I'm fine sticking with the wide receivers, just going all four of them, going Sutton and Pearsall and leaving Henderson and Chase Brown on the bench this week.
Agreed. Trade Addison for Ferguson and Bill Krosky-Merritt.
Joe, I think I answered this already in our Discord chat. I mean, I'm fine with it if you feel like you need a tight end. And if I remember correctly, I think you said you have Brenton Strange as your starting tight end. I'm okay making this move. You basically get a free running back and a tight end that has top 5 upside for the next month with CeeDee Lamb out and a top 8 tight end rest of the season. So I'm fine making that deal.
Very nice. Jonathan wants to jump in here and talk shit about my Bucks right now, but we'll go ahead and let him do it. Why does everybody think the Tampa is going to beat our Eagles? Ain't no way. They struggle against Atlanta, Houston, and the Jets.
Well, part of it is the Eagles are they've lost 3 of their last 4 in Tampa. Todd Bowles has Jalen Hurts' number. I don't know what it is, but when you look at Jalen's record against what many people would consider the top upper echelon quarterbacks in the NFL, he's only lost 2 of those matchups, and it's been to Patrick Mahomes. The other ones, he's completely blown out. He, for some reason, cannot beat the Bucs, whether it's Tom Brady or whether it's Baker Mayfield. That he just struggles against Tampa. So I think that's the first thing. Obviously, being in Tampa, the humidity, they don't get that level of humidity up in Philly. So that plays a lot into it. The Philly pass rush right now is struggling mightily. We have to hope as Eagles fans that Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and that interior pass rush can beat up the backups on that Bucs offensive line on the interior, because that's really the only way that I see us generating a quality pass rush, unless we are throwing a ton of blitzes at Baker. But he's proven that he's been able to handle the blitz. So again, it boils down to Quinyon Mitchell versus Emeka Egbuka. How's that going to play out? So I think this game is going to be close. That's really what I'm getting at. Baker has come from behind to win 3 straight. And I think when you're putting yourself in that situation and consistently coming out on top, that's a way for people to be like, you know what? Baker's got this. He can win this game. I think it's going to be close one way or the other. I still think that we ultimately end up winning. But again, these are both really good teams, plain and simple.
I agree with you 100% there. I think that the game is going to be close, and I do believe y'all do win the game. But there's a story to be told both ways there. Trone says, since JD5 is out, I currently have Mariota in my lineup. Are any of these options better than Mariota? Penix, Browning, Rodgers, Wentz, Flacco, or Young?
I would argue Wentz. I mean, look, a ginger going to play in Ireland. Come on, you that narrative writes itself. I think you're going to get more passing volume out of Wentz anyway versus Mariota. And I said earlier in the show, I think this is very much a trap for Mariota. I think people buy in a little too much to his performance from last week. I would say Wentz over Mariota personally. Everybody else I'm not touching.
Let's get through a couple more of these real quick here. 1 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Dobbins, Pollard, Bill, Ollie Gordon, Jacoby Myers, Higgins, Downs, Tillman, Travis Hunter, Darnell Mooney, QJ. 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex.
Dobbins at running back, 2 wide receivers. I'm going QJ and I'll go Higgins by default. And then 2 flex. I'll say Myers and Pollard would be the guys I would go with.
I like Mooney this week. I do like Myers this week. I am not touching Travis Hunter. It's just there's not.
Yeah, Travis Hunter is a hold at this point.
Yeah. Who do I bench? DJ Moore or Xavier Worthy?
Xavier Worthy. They've already come out and said that he's basically going to be on a snap count. So it's a little harder to trust him in terms of what he's able to do. Obviously, he can break the game wide open with one play, very similar to TreVeyon Henderson. But, you know, especially at wide receiver, you don't want to bank on somebody potentially only playing 15 snaps. That's not going to make your week. DJ Moore, for all the struggles that he's had, he did score a touchdown last week in a good matchup. This is another really good matchup for him. So maybe the volume is not there. That volume clearly has shifted towards Rome Odunze. I think you can still get some flex opportunities with DJ Moore.
All right, let's get down here to this. There it is. Super chat right here from Darius. Need help. Don't know who to start at wide receiver. Can only choose one because JSN already played. So is he playing Golden, Keenan, Tet, or Sutton?
You are not sitting Keenan Allen, plain and simple.
You are not sitting Keenan Allen. The volume is there, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see.
100%.
BTJ, Debo, Olave, Keenan. Pick one to sit. Let's not pick 3. Let's pick 1 to sit.
Yeah, I'm sitting BTJ until further notice.
There. Mahomes or pick up Knicks, May, Mariota, Fields, or Geno?
May.
I like that. What's your thoughts on Tyquan Thornton this week with Worthy even coming back?
As I mentioned earlier, they've already come out and said that Worthy's going to be on a snap count. As somebody that has had shoulder problems because of dislocation, it is not a fun injury to deal with at all, especially when you're getting hit by 300-pound linemen and 200-pound defenders. I'm 100% fine rolling out Tyquan Thornton. Worthy's going to have a package of plays. I don't think he's going to be out there for 40, 50 snaps. So Thornton has kind of separated himself from Hollywood Brown as the go-to guy in this receiver core right now for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Xavier Worthy is going to have a strap on his arm there as well. It makes him a little bit more limited. Yeah. Fan and Kelsey Andrews this week. And should I drop Tootin for Woody Marks?
I would not drop Tootin. I'll tell you that much right now. Definitely Tootin over Marks. In terms of tight ends, let's see, the old guys versus the young guy. Who do the Browns have this week?
The Browns are playing.
Oh, they have the Lions. Okay. I'd be okay rolling out Fannin. I think people are like, I was ready to drop Andrews, and honestly, I dropped him in a couple leagues before last week, which really kind of kicked me in the ass. But I think that game's going to be a lot of back and forth. Andrews will be okay. I don't know, the way they're using Fannin, I like it. I think I'm going to roll Fannin this week over the old guys.
I do not hate it. Pick one to sit. I like the way J Dabs put this. Pick one to sit. Etienne, Judkins, Scatabo, Olave.
Yeah, I'm sitting Scatabo this week. Chargers have a really good defense. Like I said, I know that there's a lot of good things coming out of the Giants with this switch to Jaxson Dart. Chargers have a good defense, and their run defense is good. Judkins has a not great matchup against the Lions, but right now he's the only piece of that Browns offense that I want any part of. Olave is a target volume. He's basically the new Wan'Dale Robinson. And Etienne has been pretty involved, so I'm going to sit Scatabo.
Dynasty question here. Should I trade QJ for a late first? I'm contending 3-0. Addison's coming back this week. Rice comes back soon, but I'm starting Addison and AO this week as well. Are you starting? Are you doing this trade?
I'd be looking to trade Addison over QJ if I'm being honest. I mean, in terms of value, I think it's fine. QJ for a late first. I mean, that's basically what you spent to draft him. So I don't think it's really any sort of positive ROI in terms of dynasty. Yeah, I mean, sure. Like I said, I would rather move Addison. Or honestly, you could probably flip Mainer for a second and you're getting a better ROI on that versus trading QJ for a late first when you spend a late first on him. Because that's the thing with dynasty trades, right? It's a lot of stock market. So you're looking for not only an ROI, but you're looking for players and pieces that are going to help you further compete. If you spent a late first on QJ and that's all you're trading him for, you might as well just hold on to him. Because right now, he's the one that's helping you win. Addison's not helping you win.
Yeah, that is fair. All right, everybody, let's get to another quick commercial break, as they would say. Don't forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe over on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, any of the other podcast forums that you are listening on. Follow us over there. Don't forget, like you've seen a couple times today, hit that super chat if you want to jump to the front of the line. Josh, these questions, there's a ton still in there. Let's get the Trophy Smack read one more time, and then I will let everybody know about the Discord link that I just dropped in the chat as well.
Absolutely. Fantasy football season's here, and Trophy Smack is where you want to get all of your rewards. They have trophies, rings, championship belts, all of it designed to tell your league mates who the real champion is. All of it's available at trophysmack.com/club fantasy.
And like I said, just dropped the link to the Discord over in the chat. Make sure you jump over. We continue talking about the games, trade questions, start sit questions, anything that y'all want to talk about. We are in the Discord talking about it every day of the week. And even Hooves over there talking his nonsense. Spock says, trade away a 26 first and Myers for Kittle and Adams. I'm 2-1, middle of the pack for points 4. Here's his team. 12-team Superflex, start 10 PPR. Oof. Hurts, Herbert, Tua, Kenneth Walker, Chase Brown, Nick Chubb, BTJ, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Xavier Worthy, QJ, Myers, Njoku, Ingram, 26 first, and all futures.
So I understand the idea behind making this trade because I feel like you feel that you want an upgrade at tight end. And Njoku's been meh. Ingram obviously has not looked the part this season. And then, of course, missed last week with an injury. I would be more willing and wanting to trade that 26 first to upgrade your running back room. That's where I would be looking. You have the wide receivers here that can help you compete. I know BTJ is struggling a little bit. Evans obviously is hurt now. But you've got AJ Brown, you've got Quentin Johnston. Those can be your starters. Myers can be a solid flex option. Being middle of the pack, you kind of have to decide whether or not you're going to compete or if you're just going to kind of let it play out. Being in the middle of the pack is the absolute worst thing that you can be in Dynasty. So, acquiring 2 older players like Kittle and Adams, that's strictly going to help you for this season, and that's it. And then when the offseason rolls around, you're going to realize, well, shit, now I've got all these old guys nobody fucking wants, and I'm going to have to only, my best bet's to get like a few second-round picks and stuff for them. That's, especially if you lose, that's not the best way to go about it. So I would be looking to maybe package one of the wide receivers and a first to get a running back. That would be the route that I would take with this team.
Yeah, I would. That's the first thing I looked at when I look at a first rounder going away is the age of everything else that's on the team, and especially in that wide receiver room with AJB Evans, we need a little bit of help right there, and I think that's the move is go take that first and go after a running back there. Alec wants to know Dart or Mariota.
It's Mariota this week, Dart next week.
Spot comes back. He says AJ Brown or Adams this week in a PPR.
AJ Brown.
Woof. Sit Jamar Chase or sit Abuka?
God, I can't believe we're having this question. I'm starting both of them. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I don't know who else you would be starting that would cause you to want to sit one of them, but yeah, you're starting both of them.
You're starting both. Okay, else comes in. This is Chase Brown or Abuka. I know. I did it right all day long just to do it wrong the one time for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Which one are you going with?
Abuka.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Trone says, what 2 wide receivers and flex would you play this week? PPR. Tyreek, DK, Warren, JCM, Wandell, Tony Franklin. If Warren is out, what'd I say, Tony? Yeah. Troy Franklin. If Warren is out, who should I play or should I drop Franklin for Gainwell?
I would have zero issue dropping Franklin for Gainwell just to protect yourself on Jaylen Warren. 2 wide receivers is Tyreek and DK. I am not rolling out Wandell in this matchup. I think he'll be fine from a PPR perspective. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying sit DK. The volume's just not there. That's the problem with DK. Wandell presents the opportunity that there's volume. So maybe you don't need that safe floor option with DK because I think Tyreek offers both the floor and the ceiling. Go Tyreek and Wandell. I like that. For a flex this week, yeah, it's Jaylen Warren. Obviously, if he doesn't play, that changes things, but it's Jaylen Warren. I would 100% drop Troy Franklin for Gainwell. Hey, we got another super chat.
Tyler jumps in here with a big super chat for us. Hey, guys, thoughts on my 12-teamer? Full PPR, Mahomes, Dart, Gibbs, Judkins, Chase Brown, Tootin, Woody Marks, JSN, London, Myers, Pearsall, Ayuk, Andrews, and Gadsden.
All right. Well, I mean, you got Gibbs. Love that for you. Let's see. Start at quarterback. Mahomes as a fantasy option has been a little meh, but plus side is he leads his team in rushing yards, so that's good. I love having Dart.
You can obviously see this is a 1 quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely a 1 quarterback league, but
quarterback doesn't kill you on this.
Yeah, quarterback doesn't play that big of a part, but having Dart, I like the upside there. The Giants do have a tough schedule, especially this early part, so there's going to be a lot of growing pains there with Dart. But after the mid part of the season, around week 10 or so, I think we'll start to see some changes there with him. Gibbs, Judkins is showing out. Good for him. I still worry that the suspension comes through, but love those guys as starters. Chase Brown, I think he'll be okay. Tootin, Marks, good depth. JSN, London, love them as starters. Pearsall there as well. Ayuk kind of clouds things, but that's fine. It's a solid core. It's definitely a solid core.
Yeah, I like a good portion of this team. So that's
a 12 team. I'd give it a B+.
Yeah, 100%. Tyler, I appreciate the super chat there, buddy. Jump into the Discord. You're more than welcome to ask more questions about that team there as well. Chaos comes in. It's Daniel Jones, Justin Fields.
Whoo! How can you bench Danny Dimes right now? Give me Danny Dimes.
Yeah,
or Indiana Jones.
It's Indiana Jones or Danny Diamonds. The Danny Dimes got left in New York.
Diamonds. Geez.
Danny Diamonds. Quincy says, would you drop Downs for Ridley?
Yes.
Agreed. CC Inc. says, Judkins or Brees rest of season?
Brees Hall. And a lot of that is because there's still a chance that Judkins will get suspended this year.
Non-PPR from Mr. Scampers. Tet at New England, Devontae at Tampa, or Golden at Dallas?
I think Tet's going to get gonzoed. I think Devonta Smith is the safe floor. Golden is the lottery ticket. I do think that Golden will get more involved as the weeks go on, but I think it's going to be very hard to say, you know what, I'm going to start Matthew Golden this week because this is the week. I think you kind of have to see it first, but yeah, give me Devonta Smith this week.
Andrea, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Gibbs, Kyron Williams, Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason, Nico London, Odunze, PPR.
So let's start running back. It's Gibbs and Kieran. 2 wide receivers, Nico and Odunze. 1 flex. I'm going to go Mason this week over London and Pollard.
You are so predictable. If I end up needing upside going into Monday night down, who do I start, Nix or Fields?
Upside is Fields, 100%. It's always Fields. I mean, what he's able to do with his legs is next level. So,
I mean, they're both running quarterbacks, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but Nix hasn't been running this season the way that he was last season.
He hasn't been doing a bunch of nothing that he did last season. So
that's kind of my point. So,
full PPR, ETN, Addison, Golden, or Worthy?
I do like Addison this week, but I'm going to stick with ETN.
Should I trade Mason and Benson for a top RB like Henry or Kyron Williams? I already have Hampton, and my league only starts 1 running back.
Only starts 1 running back, so I'm guessing there's multiple flex spots here. Gucci. I mean, if you only have to start one running back, RB depth is not the most pressing thing. I would be fine trading like 2 top 15 options for a potential top 5 option. Like if I can trade Mason and Benson to get Henry, I'll do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I just don't know if that gets it done. Maybe it does.
Maybe it does. What's the worst that happens? You offer it and they say no.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do it, I'm down for it. Down for it, 100%. The Pats Lover says, thoughts on this trade, Jay Jettis, Bill Krosky-Merritt, and Devontae Smith for Travion, Jordan Mason, Stephon Diggs, and Garrett Wilson.
I never loved trading J-Jets. Honestly, it's the J-Jet side. I don't think there's really anything. I mean, Garrett Wilson's okay, but there's plenty to not like about him in that offense. Yeah, it's the J-Jet side. Pretty easily.
CC says you lost Connor. Bijan is his number 1 option right now, and right now Harvey, Woody, and Hunt. Which one do I put in my lineup this week?
I'm going to put in Hunt because they actually use him in the red zone, and that's really what you need with 3 backups. You're looking for touchdown upside and opportunity. Right now, that's Hunt, so that's what I would start.
Trade Pickens for Pearsall, yes or no?
I have 0 issue with that.
0 issue. I've Chase, JSN, Flowers, Waddle, London, RBs or Kyron, Henderson, Scattaboo, Rashad White, Tyler Algier. I asked the trade question about Flowers, Hendo, Henry, for Brees and Warren. Okay, so this going back
so
to
this provides the context. Okay. So he's got Kieran Hendo, Scat.
So he's got
Okay,
Chase,
so
Dance,
this
Waddle, London. So Flowers, okay,
I still don't know that I would trade Flowers. Like I don't trust Waddle. London has kind of been struggling.
That's kind of what I would do, right? Swap out Flowers and Waddle and see if I don't think it gets it done, but depending on your league, if you can sell the Hunter Henry side of it, get you that upgrade at running back. And I mean, now you're sitting there with Kyron, Brees.
See, here's the thing. I think Scat is going to be fine. I think it's going to be a bit of a rough matchup this week. So if Scatabo is able to start as your RB2, the only thing that you really need to navigate at that point is bye weeks. Hopefully Henderson starts making some segue there or some headway. Yeah, I think I'm okay keeping the Flower side of this trade.
Trade Devontae Adams.
We got another super chat, Jay.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, from Cheap Perp.
There you go. We'll come back to it right here. Caleb or Fields this week for Chief?
It's Caleb Williams for me. I know Fields has obviously the upside with his legs, but Caleb Williams looked hot last week, and this is another really good matchup. I am riding the Caleb wheel until the wheels fall off.
You know, I know it was Dallas, and I know Dallas is horrible.
Bro, but they have Las Vegas this week. It is not
know, but what I'm getting at is it felt like all of a sudden something clicked for Caleb last week.
That's what I'm saying.
It felt like it clicked, and I just don't know that you can sit him at this point. If this continues, we could be seeing what we thought we wanted to see from Caleb last year. Trade Devontae Adams or Drake London for Brian Thomas Jr.
I would be okay trading Drake London for BTJ. Right now, I want Devontae Adams.
Yeah, anything in that.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea, like you know, the buy low aspect on BTJ, but I don't want to buy low with a top 12 option, and that's what Devontae Adams is right now.
Very fair. Bateman or Hunt today, or this week?
I'm gonna go Bateman. I think that game's gonna be a bit of a shootout. I know Pacheco has struggled. Maybe we do see some more Hunt this week, but Bateman was pretty involved last week, and they're not afraid to target him. So I think I'll side with Bateman here.
Yep. Would you drop Troy Franklin or Cooper Kupp for Algier or Dowdle?
I have zero issue dropping Cooper Kupp for any of these RBs if you feel that you need, some backups or handcuffs or whatever. I would prefer Kupp, or I would prefer Dawdle than Algier.
Pick 2: Keenan Allen, Matthew Golden, or Ibuka.
You're not starting Matthew Golden over Keenan Allen or Emeka Ibuka.
Over either one of them. Over either one of them. Fuzzy, whatever. Here we go. Joseph says, you guys have me worried about Tet now, so I have to ask. Choose 2 for wide receiver and 2 for the flex. Tet, Ladd, Chase Brown, Sutton, or Pearsall.
I mean, I feel like the same worries that you have for Ted, you probably should have for Ladd. So I'm fine going Ted. Like right now, at least he's seeing target volume. Like Ladd's not. Sutton, Pearsall. I'll take the volume with Chase Brown and then go Ted. And I hate saying that because I love Ladd McConkey, but Keenan Allen is just retaking that preferred target role, and Ladd's just got to wait his turn.
So unfortunate. So
it's like the older brother left for college,
and now
now mom has a new favorite, but then the older brother came back, so now he returns as the favorite. Like that's really what it boils down to.
Vikings D at Pittsburgh, which is actually in Ireland, or the Broncos versus Cincinnati.
It's the Vikings. Clearly they create turnovers, and they, I'm not saying you're going to get another return touchdown this week or even 2. But Aaron Rodgers is not unprone to making mistakes. Let's put it that way.
Back to Schmitty here with another kicker question for you. Since you think the Raiders-Bears game is going to be a shootout, how do you feel about starting Daniel Carlson over Spencer Schrader? Or is the Rams-Colts game predicted for a shootout as well?
Where do we have Carlson in our consensus? Wow, they have Carlson way down at 19. Okay. Schrader's been more reliable. I mean, they're not punting. So they're certainly kicking at something. But I don't know, like when you're facing a defense as bad as the Raiders, you're not getting stopped for kicks. I think that's kind of the biggest issue, right? The Rams are good enough to stop a drive to where the Colts have to settle for field goals. That would be more my thinking. Carlson, you're probably going to get a lot of extra points. Schrader, you'll get field goals out of.
You can't get extra points if they don't score touchdowns, Josh. Should I start Devontae or Worthy? Also have Kamara or Genty.
Smith over Worthy, Genty over Kamara.
You're not sitting Genty this week at all.
No.
Ladd or Myers as the last flex.
I'm going to go game script and take Myers, which pains me to say.
The volume, you're chasing the volume there. Chat bench. AO, Worthy, Godwin, Moody, Abuka.
If you have to bench one, benching one, I'll probably sit Godwin just because I'm not 100% sure what his play snaps and all that good stuff are going to be. I know Worthy's limited too, but I feel like Godwin's going to be more limited, truthfully.
Yeah, that would be the two that I'd be looking at as well. Take your pick of which one you want to sit. Good morning, Miss Angie. Need two. Tyreek versus Sauce this week. Jacoby Myers, Keenan Allen. Thank you.
It's Keenan and Tyreek. Tyreek's not going to see a ton of Sauce Gardner. They move him around too much.
Full PPR, I want to start Trey Tucker, Shaheed over DK.
I'd be okay with Trey Tucker over both those guys. I don't love throwing in a waiver wire guy after a 40-point outing. But Shaheed is nothing in that offense right now. Truthfully, you can make the argument that Shaheed doesn't even need to be rostered. DK, I think, has an okay floor. But Tucker's certainly the upside play if you feel that you want that.
All right, Josh, we got to get through these pretty quickly here. We're all over the hour mark already. Would you drop Ollie Gordon for Woody Marks?
I mean, sure.
Would you trade?
They're the same running back, in all honesty. So,
would you trade Trace Bound for Genty?
In a heartbeat.
Jalen Warren or Quinshon Judkins?
Judkins.
Meyer in a 26 first. We already go through this one here, didn't we? It feels like it. Myers 26 first. Chase Brown for Adams, Kittle, Breece Hall.
Okay, so this makes a little bit more sense because you're at least getting, you're upgrading from Brown to Breece Hall, in my opinion. So, yeah, if that's a move you can make, I feel a little bit better about that. I mean, you're still not getting any real running back depth here. You're just swapping running backs. But, I mean, with the 2 tight end premium, Kittle is so exponentially valuable.
But you're definitely upgrading that running back room.
Yeah, I mean, well, and you're upgrading at running back, you're upgrading at wide receiver with, from Myers to Adams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but unless you have 5 flex spots, like you're not starting all those wide receivers. So,
oh well, I mean, Evans is not starting anyway.
I will say I like this trade more than the last one, Spock.
Yep. Quincy says y'all guys are doing a wonderful job. Appreciate Quincy. Tight end Hawk, Kraft, Warren.
Kraft.
Flex. Worthy, Javonte, Trey Tucker, Hawkinson, Kraft, Warren, pick 2.
Well, I'm starting Kraft at tight end. You need 2 flexes. I think you still have to go Javonte just for volume purposes. even though I hate that matchup. Tucker could so easily only get you 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
But if you told me that he had a chance at a 20-point game, I don't think any of these tight ends really do. I think I'm going to go Tucker. I'm staying away from Worthy just because I don't like they're putting him on a snap count. And I'm sure that when he's on the field, they're going to scheme him touches because that's what you should do. But yeah, I think I would go Tucker, Williams, and then Tucker Kraft this week.
Yeah, I think the Tucker is a smash play this week up in playing against Chicago. So should I start to do the laundry or sit down and watch sports? I know this is probably everybody's.
Well, Vince, I'm going to tell you right now, buddy. Here's the beautiful thing about laundry. Unless you are hand washing it, you can put in the load, and while it works, you can watch sports. 2 birds, 1 stone, baby.
2 birds, 1 stone. Warren or Kraft?
We got a super chat.
Did I miss another one?
Yeah, it just came through. Cheap burp. There you go.
I need 2 flex. Devontae Adams, Debo, Pearsall, London. I'm feeling London bounce back this week, but it's hard to play him after how Atlanta looked last week.
Yeah, Washington's been playing decent defense. Devontae Adams is your clear start here. That's a gimme. Not gonna lie, I do worry a little bit about Debo because he's not a very traditional wide receiver. Pearsall being hurt, London inconsistent offense. I think Adams is obviously the best player here. He's got the most, the floor and upside pairing there. I would go Pearsall.
As bad as it was last week for Atlanta, I think it is still London. He still got 8 targets. That's just my opinion, but yeah, that's where I'm at. But I'm with you on the Devontae Adams. I don't think you can be wrong between London or Pearsall there. Warren or Kraft, leaning Kraft in the matchup. Also, should I trade Kenneth Walker for Rashid? Need wide receiver depth. Have Lamb neighbors. Yeah, Rashid Rice. Have Lamb, Neighbors, Pittman, and Godwin. RBs are Cook, Hampton, Mason, Judkins, and Benson.
You've got really good depth at running back, so I'm fine making that deal for Rashid Rice. But here's the thing. Rice isn't going to help you for a few weeks, and by the time Rice does help you, you'll also have Lamb back. So you're still just trotting out Neighbors and Pittman even for the next 3 weeks. So in a vacuum, sure, it's fine. But I think you could probably trade Walker for a wide receiver that can actually help you now. That would be the route that I would look at Misfit. And this week, I'm with you, lean Kraft. Tyler Warren's going to be great. If there's a way that you can flip one for the other, or one or the other, I would look at it. I believe the Packers bye is in week 5. So obviously you'll need Warren next week, but once Kraft comes back, look to try to trade Tyler Warren before his bye week.
100 Love or Knicks for you?
Oh, I am all in on Jordan Love this week.
Jordan Love. Half point PPR, start 1, Sutton, BTJ, Debo.
I think Sutton's the safest option. Right now, I'm not starting BTJ until he starts showing some synergy with Trevor Lawrence. I think, yeah, it's Sutton, but it's close with Debo. You could definitely convince me on Debo.
A couple more here. Is Fairbairn a good kicker to play all year? Look at those rankings again, Josh. Where do they have Fairbairn ranked?
Fairbairn this week is 12. So this is what I will say when it comes to kickers and defenses, Caden. Unless you have some sort of transactional limits within your league, you should be streaming kicker every week. Play the weather, play whether they're indoor, outdoors, play with the offenses, etc. When it comes to Fairbairn and what the fuck? Wrong tab. Here we go. When it comes to Fairbairn, that Houston Texans offense right now is not great. So I would not be relying on him all year anyway. But there's definitely some matchups where, he'll come into play and he'll be okay. But you want to stream every week.
And then he comes right back. Is Green Bay a good defensive play this week? And it's an absolute smash.
They are a top 5 play this week.
Rhonda jumps in. Pick 3, Nakua, Jefferson, London, BTJ, Adunze.
You are sitting BTJ until further notice.
And so you're starting Nakua for sure. You're starting Adunze for sure. You're starting.
I'm sitting London out of these. Yep. Those. I mean, Adunze, Jefferson, Nakua. There's literally no reason to sit any of them right now.
Misfit Joe, appreciate you guys jumping in. We will see y'all next week. Nathan jumps in and says, would you trade J.K. Dobbins for Chuba straight up?
No, I would not. This is the typical J.K. Dobbins hot start. Chuba, I always felt Chuba was going to kind of regress a little bit this year. Rico Dowdle's been more involved in that offense. So Chuba's not going to get the running back share percent that he did last year. Dobbins right now, I want to ride that hot hand until they really get RJ Harvey up and running.
Quincy jumps back. He says, one last one. Would you drop Tillman, Downs for Ridley? And which one are you dropping?
I'm fine dropping Josh Downs for Ridley.
Yeah.
I'm okay holding on to Tillman for right now.
All right, couple more here. We got Ray jumping in. Fields, Caleb. We kind of answered this one earlier, I believe. I think we're both on the Caleb side of this one.
Caleb, yes. And we did get a super chat in.
They are killing it with the super chats today. I love it,
man. Appreciate you guys.
Drop Fannin for Henry. Oh, he also has Juwan.
I mean, you don't need Hunter Henry if you have Juwan Johnson, but give me 2 good tight ends. I mean, I'm okay dropping Fannin to get Hunter Henry. Yeah.
100%. As much as I like Fannin, I definitely going after Hunter Henry, especially with that target volume that he's getting.
Yep.
Pogogat says, I traded George Kittle for Chris Godwin a few days ago. Your thoughts?
Depends on who you have at tight end. That's really what it boils down to. I mean, both obviously are hurt. Godwin's in a high-powered offense, so he's going to end up doing just fine when all things are said and done. Kittle's likely going to be a top 3, top 5 tight end for rest of the season. I mean, if you have Tyler Warren, sure, you don't need Kittle at that point. I agree. Yeah, I'm fine with that deal.
Very nice. I like it. Waddle or Pickens? 2 of your favorite players.
I mean, I want to say Waddle just because of the matchup. Yeah, I'm going to go Waddle this week.
Against the Jets. Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. Ron says, should I doubt playing Derrick Henry with the fumble problems? I have Amari Hampton and Hubbard on my bench.
You should be starting Derrick Henry and Amari Hampton this week. That's what you should be doing, Rhonda. Hubbard should never be in a start-sit question with Derrick Henry. I'm just throwing that out there. But Amari Hampton is going to absolutely smash this week.
I'm going to go back to Poker Guts trade here. He said he got Kittle traded Kittle for Godwin. And the reason being is he had CD and Xavier both injured.
Well, now you just acquired another injured guy. So
there's that. Timothy says, would Nico Collins and Tony Pollard for Derrick Henry, Jordan Addison be a safe trade?
I think it's pretty even. I know Ryan will tell you that he will take the elite running back over the elite wide receiver. So he would probably side with the Derrick Henry Addison side of this trade. I mean, I think it's a fair trade. I'm gonna say that. So really, it just depends. Do you prefer running backs over wide receivers? Because to me, it's Nico over Derrick Henry. But if you told me that, you were a little light at running back. Okay, so Timothy chimes in that they have Amon-Ra as well. That makes it a lot easier to move off of Nico Collins to get Derrick Henry. So I'm definitely okay with that. Like I said, I think it's a fair trade, so I'm okay with it.
All right. And Rhonda says one more here. So Fields or May?
It's May over Fields, and I do want to point out she does mention that she has James Cook as well. Just going back to her start running back question. I mean, you should be able to flex one of them, right? Like I would be trotting out Derrick Henry, James Cook, and then Amari Hampton in the flex at that point, Rhonda. I don't know who your wide receivers are, but you definitely want to get Amari Hampton. Kudos, because that's a fantastic running back room, by the way.
Love it.
I want to definitely preface that. Like that is a fantastic running back room. That is champagne problems.
Dynasty thoughts on Christian Watson. He traded a 28th third and Watson for a 27th second. Wide receivers are Amon-Ra, Puka, Nico, AJ Brown, Adams. Jesus. And they start.
I mean, it's a dart throw. You're talking about future picks that don't matter much right now. So, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yes, I agree.
It's a dart throw.
Seeing a bunch more going in here. Yes, Caesar, as Caesar says here, make sure you like and subscribe. Join us over on the Discord as well. Am I missing a couple here? Redraft, need to drop one. Hollywood, Wandale, Addison, Judy, Ramondre. He has Hendo, Dowdle, and he has Chuba.
I said this Tuesday, you can drop Jerry Judy and not bat an eye. I'm just saying, you can drop him right now. It would not matter to me.
Ronnie, so then which running back, wide receiver do I sit? Puka, Jefferson, or Adunze? None of them.
Oh my God. Rhonda, I want your team. Holy crap. I love this. Oh man. No, I'm definitely not sitting Puka or Adunze. Call me crazy.
Are you sitting Justin Jefferson?
Call me crazy. I would be okay sitting Jefferson this week for Amari and Hampton. I would be okay with that. I am that high on Amari and Hampton this week.
I don't know. Hang on one second. Let's decompress right here. Let's get over. I don't know if I can do that. Instead of trading K9 for Rashid Rice, should I just drop one and pick up Addison off waivers?
Drop one of who? Let me see. Where's that earlier question?
Whereas let me see if you can scroll up and find that where that Misfit Warcraft.
I feel like I completely missed it. Okay.
Yes. Lamb, Neighbors, Pittman, Godwin. Running backs are Cook, Hampton, Mason, Judkins, Benson.
No, I wouldn't outright drop any of them for Addison. No, I mean, you can get a legit starting wide receiver for K9. So
he could drop Mark Andrews.
He has trade value after a 2 TD performance. So
there is that.
And I like A. Maynor. So yeah, honestly, like you have A. Maynor there too. Like I wouldn't be in a rush to trade for another wide receiver that can't help me. Like A. Maynor seeing a ton of targets. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And he likes your response here. So we'll go on to Kyron or Mason halfway across the world and start Trey Tucker or Romeo Dobbs.
Kieran for me. Again, it's close. Like I'm not mad about either. Tucker has way more upside than Romeo Dobbs, truthfully. Dobbs is consistent. He's okay, but Tucker has just so much more upside to me. And I love starting upside guys. Like I know they break your heart constantly. Trey Tucker is just more fun. Take that for what you will, Tyler.
Poker Guts jumps in. Do not drop Andrews, underrated tight end.
I don't know about underrated. He's rated. But...
He's rated. Trey Tucker over Dobbs. I like. Let's see. Robin says, thanks for the advice. Hoping I can win the league this year after best draft ever. I mean,
that is a fantastic draft. Absolutely fantastic. Good for you, Rhonda.
Yes.
Kudos.
Tyler, Tucker or A. Maynor?
I like A. Maynor. Look, Tucker has the clear upside, and I do think that this game is going to be a shootout between the Raiders and whatchamacallit, the Bears. So, there's a chance that we see a kind of a similar outburst, especially because the Bears have no pass rush. But I think there's a better chance of Genty popping versus Tucker popping again. So that's why I'm going to lead A. Manor here.
And last one for us as well, Misfit. Pick one for the flex. Judkins or Ibika?
It's Ibuka.
Yeah, Ibuka.
I still like the upside there, even if I think the matchup's. I mean, really, the matchup's tough for both of them. So,
all right, we'll get Sprock in here one more time. Drop Harvey or Mooney. He has Dobbins and London.
I mean, you don't need Mooney if you have London. You can make the case that you need Harvey if you have Dobbins. So,
yep. How far down the rankings did CeeDee Lamb go after getting hurt?
I'm assuming you mean season-long rankings. I mean, he missed 2 games last year and was still a top 10 wide receiver, so not far. Yep. I personally, I don't do rest of season rankings, Matt Davis. I do so much on the back end of the site. Like I rely on our consensus rankers to do a lot of that. So, but I would still have him as a top 10 wide receiver rest of the season.
And we'll get this one here for Tyler real quick, and then we'll get the hell out of here.
I think there's one more from Austin too that you missed.
Did I miss one? All right, we'll trade Nico for Achane or Gibbs. PPR redraft. Other running backs are Javonte, Monty, Swift, Etienne. Current wide receivers are Puka, Nico, Olave, and Wandell.
Waddle. I mean, Ridley and Waddle are not people that you feel comfortable starting. Olave is a volume hog that's not really doing much of anything else. I mean, trading Nico gives you a little bit more balance. I mean, if I can get Gibbs for Nico, I'm going to do that in a heartbeat. Here's how I would rank, and I have Achane really high in my preseason running back rankings. I still would go Gibbs, Nico, Achane. That's how I would do that. So I would trade Nico to get Gibbs, but I wouldn't necessarily want to do Nico for Achane, if that helps, Tyler.
Austin comes in, pick 3 to start PPR. Nico,
I'm sitting Pickens.
There we go. Let's get the hell out of here, Josh. It's been a great day. We're almost an hour and a half into it. If you guys have more stick questions, please do not hesitate. Jump over into our Discord. The link is in the description of the video. What else do we got to talk about? Holy crap. Monday's show. I can't wait till Monday. Monday morning, 11 a.m. Josh and I get back over here. We add Ryan to the mix for Monday's anxiety to bitch, moan, complain, and talk about Monday night. Josh, anything to add?
No. Enjoy Sunday's games. We got 2 Monday night games going simultaneously, which is the dumbest
thing in the world.
Thing that the NFL decides to do. But yeah.
Yep. Like I said at the very beginning, don't forget, 4 weeks in a row now, we got a 9:30 a.m. show, a game on Sundays. Bye week start in week 5. So get to looking at those waiver wires, checking it out. Don't forget, we have that on Tuesday as well, but we'll talk more about that Monday. Until Monday, we'll see y'all. Enjoy.